dias, chicas, and welcome. It's game day, the final day in Medellin, so we had to go and check out one of the football matches. Club Medellin Independiente. I looked, their goal difference is terrible. They're mid-table. They've drawn more and lost more than they've won, so I don't think the standard will be good. But we had to come to one of the best restaurants we've been to in South America. Is it South American food? No, it's from the food of the best country in the world. It is Japan. Get a little close up. We've gone for the same. So you've got a little mango ceviche in there. You've got the chicken number, the teriyaki. We've gone for the shredded lettuce, a little bit of the old cabbage. There's all sorts going on. And of course, we're gonna have to give you a little taste test. I'm talking pretty quick because the music is pumping. Just have a little look on that side profile. And obviously I've doubled up, do you know what I mean? It's not a hen-do round here. It's so good. Normally, cream cheese in sushi is not for me. However, when it's a little burrito, you need that little bit of sauce, that little bit of, do you know what I mean, moisture to get through it. The mango ceviche, the freshness cutting through the soy sauce. I'm giving it a straight 10 out of 10. It's an absolute banger. We've got a few surprises in store. We're firing up the beers right 3 o'clock, watching the Champions League, and the atmosphere is going to be about 10 times as good as the Etihad. It's not hard. Let's see where the night gets us. Cheers now. The team have just landed Santa Marta, and the King, as always, has outdone herself with this ridiculous pad. We call ourselves the bougie backpackers. We're not this bougie. This is obviously a shared pool. Ruthless views, and this is where we're going to be exploring for the next few days. But first, let me take you back to the football, because it was an absolute carnage, loose, crazy, fun afternoon. It's just absolute ridiculous vibes. So the game started at 8:30 p.m. So of course, being the good boy from that I am, I said, why don't we go and watch all the Champions League games before? So we rocked up at 3 o'clock, right near the ground. Already a little bit of buzz. The atmosphere was building slowly but surely. Got a little shirt, just get part of the vibes. The only time you'll see me wearing a red shirt. Obviously, shout out to City, shout out to the boys. Got a couple of beers flowing. Club Colombia is the best beer in Colombia, and if you think otherwise, I'll fight you down in the old comments below. The King was on a little Smirnoff Ice. I was trying to get a like Vino Blanco white wine, and the guy literally was like, "I've got this," and like pulls out like red wine in like this carton, and I was like, "That is not going to cut the mustard." You do not know Emma King. Pale, dry, rosé or white. She's a little bit Sauvignon. So yeah, it was on the old Smirnoffs. But in terms of the trip itself, so we paid 200,000 pesos, which is about 37, 38 pounds. If you want to do it cheaper, you can do, just buy a ticket yourself, go direct. I'm pretty sure it's like a quarter of the price to do that, but if you're thinking about safety, or if you're just thinking about like enjoyment and fun, it's better going with a big group, meeting other people. This is very much a like tourist trip, so everyone is, I'd probably say, I'm pretty sure everyone was European or American. You're not going to be like going on with like loads of locals on the trip itself at the start. So there's about 50, 60 people. You all meet up at about 5:30 outside this little mini mart. Beers are flowing. They've got like the songs playing. Everyone's trying to learn them. Imagine how good that is. You've got a bunch of bloody tourists trying to sing like the Ultras songs. Absolute shambles. Free shots of aguas calientes, which is basically sambuca from wish.com. It's sambuca, but it's about 24%. So I'm pretty sure it is just water and sambuca. It's a pre-made drink. It's a big thing they drink over here. But me and them were drinking it in Salento, where we were having like a beer, a wine, and having that as like a chaser, which, as you can imagine, that did not end very well. It was super, super loose. And then the atmosphere builds slowly but surely. You go into a few bars all around the stadium. We've got like some pyrotechnics, some flares are going off. Yeah, we're like the wettest ultras you'll ever see. We even got M in a little shirt, which is obviously good fun. And then they got us into like the ground, or like around the stadium, probably about an hour before. There's like 2 different checkpoints you've got to go through. Crazy security, which seems mental, because I've never seen people smoking a bit of the old green stuff in the stands. So I'm not sure what the security are doing, but definitely not doing their job. But once you get in there, you just sit wherever. There's so many free seats. Unless you're there on like a huge game, there's going to be loads of free seats. So it's not like, oh, I've got seat 1, 2, 3, and you sit together. You can sit wherever you pretty much want. They do get you really good seats. So like behind the goal is where all like the ultras sit. So they come and do like a bit of a demonstration first. The tune tunes are going, the drums are going. I was in the mix, just like limbs going left, right and centre. Spot the tourists in there, just giving it like the penguin jumps in the middle. Just absolute carnage. And then, yeah, just before the kind of game is going to be starting, you get your seat, you get a little beer wari. There's people literally like running up and down trying to sell you beers, trying to sell you aguas calientes, trying to sell you anything. You can get food as well, but for me, the food was like, you know, when you go to like a fun fair type thing when you're like, I don't know, about 5 or 6, and it's just them awful hot dogs and burgers. That's what it's like. So I would definitely advise, there's only one negative, it's that actually there's two. One, the food, and two, they did serve draft beer in the grind, but I'm pretty sure someone's just pouring a bottle into like a half pint glass, and you get it topped up with a little bit of lemon if, like myself, you are partial to a little lager top. Delicious scenery. And then, yeah, once the tunes are going, I went upstairs on my own to just sit or stand the whole game with all like the ultras and the real fans, because, do you know what I mean, if you're downstairs, no one knows the songs, there's no atmosphere. Whereas on that top deck, there were people like stood on the edge of the hoardings, like where the barrier is, like, I don't know, 20-foot drop downstairs. They stood on that, holding like flags, waving flags. They've got like the big tarpaulin over the shoulders with all like the different colours, and it's just a crazy atmosphere. I've got the smallest calves in the world, however, they were getting worked to an absolute oblivion last night, just bopping up and down, going whoa, pretending we knew the old tunes and stuff. But the game was good atmosphere. The team won 3-0. They actually played the team which are bottom of the league, and you can see why, because they were terrible. But look at this before. The guys explained to you. So in Colombian football, it's like a 3-year cycle, and then you lose like the accumulative points over the 3 years. That team gets relegated and stuff. So it sounds all pretty loose behaviour. Couple of pyrotechnics, couple of flares, not just myself, couple of other blokes in there. And again, from a safety standpoint, because I think this is what we were worried about, this is what people are worried about online. Absolutely fine. Everyone is so friendly. I went upstairs on my own. There's no tourists, no foreigners, and everyone was super friendly. So yeah, I would 100% advise one, doing the trip, but doing it this way, because you kind of have that kind of safety element. You've got like your ticket, you're sorted, you're definitely getting in, you're in a good spot if you do want to fall back and anything, but it's easy just to walk up where all the atmosphere is and all the flair behaviour is going down. So yeah, big thumbs up from me. Serious day out. As I was kind of saying throughout, any questions, bang it in the old comments. I did make a million notes, but we've not had to use any thus far. Pretty much covered everything. And another last little final note. So it's a good job to make some, because I can refer back. The one thing I missed was, again, the safety element. We worried coming out after the ground. If anyone's been to a sporting event in the UK or anywhere in the world, it's super busy when you come out, so it's pretty tough to like get a taxi or this sort of stuff. I would say it would be fine to get a taxi after the game's finished. There wasn't a lot of traffic at all, but we walked back because we were staying near there. It's about 25 minutes via a little Mackie D's. Obviously, we've got to get that in the system, so we could, yeah, we had an early flight this morning, which we thought would be super dusty for, but we were okay. We walked the whole way back, absolutely fine, no problem at all. Like literally, no one even speaks to you. I think in like 90% of the places. I don't mean that in like a negative way. I mean it in a good way. Like people are just getting on with their business. They're just not bothered about some lanky northern tourist bouncing around to Medellin Independiente. So for me, safety absolutely fine. The trip was banging. The football was good. Definitely gets the G-Dubs seal of approval. We have landed in the mighty Santa Marta, and we are back in tropical climates. We've got a beautiful sunset just dropping out the sky in the distance. We've got all the hills in the backdrop. We've got a lovely Airbnb that Em's picked. So we've got 5 days in Santa Marta. We're going to be doing like Tayrona National Park, a little bit of hiking, a little bit of beach action, maybe a little bit of a boat trip if we can find one. And then we're going to be moving over to Minka, which is up in the jungle. We've just booked. When I say we, Em does the booking, I usually do the itinerary. So Emma's booked a flare pad. Like we're literally staying up in the jungle in this hotel, flare pool, all this sort of stuff. So as always, the team are just doing bits, and then we're going to be moving over to Panama before meeting up with a special guest in exactly 3 weeks' time. Special guest, actually no, I'm not going to say right now. If you can have a guess, let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, going to take in the sunset, maybe get a little cerveza, maybe get a little bit of the old hydration. As always, any questions in the comments whilst you're down there, hit that subscribe button, baby. Still en route to 3K subs. I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, the chef is always cooking. Let's get it.